Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Martin Estrada. I'm the United States Attorney based here in Los Angeles. We're here today to announce a major criminal civil rights case against two former deputies with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Notably, one of those deputies, the lead defendant, Stephen Langford, was on active duty with the Sheriff's Department when these crimes were committed. These two former sheriff's deputies teamed up with two other individuals, a former member of the military of the United Kingdom and a former member of the military of Australia. These four individuals together formed what amounted to a mercenary group. All four have been charged in this case. These four defendants went and basically operated a shakedown tactic against a businessman in Irvine, California. These four individuals were hired by a wealthy Chinese national to address a business dispute. And they did that by going to the home of the businessman in Irvine, California. There, they forced their way into the home and they held the businessman, his wife, and his two children hostage for several hours. During that time, they used intimidation, they used threats, and they used violence to force that businessman to sign a contract in which he gave away his rights to the person who'd hired them, the wealthy national in China. In this way, they extorted the businessman and his family, and they violated their civil rights. Importantly, the lead defendant, Stephen Langford, the active duty sheriff's deputy, used his authority as a sheriff's deputy to carry out these crimes. He used his badge to gain entry into the home. He used his authority as a sheriff's deputy to intimidate the family and to threaten the businessman with deportation. And he used his power as a peace officer to ultimately get the victim to sign that contract, giving away business rights. When they left the home, Langford turned to the businessman and threatened him if he were to report this extortion, this violation of civil rights. The four individuals then went off and celebrated what they had done. But later, the lead defendant, Stephen Langford, continued to use his authority as a police officer with the Sheriff's Department to cover up what he had done. When the businessman reported this extortion to the Irvine Police Department, the Irvine Police Department then called the Sheriff's Department of Los Angeles to see what was going on. Langford spoke with the Irvine Police Department and told them this was part of a legitimate law enforcement operation. That was a lie. This was a violation of the victim's civil rights. With this case, we send an important message. Our office has repeatedly made clear that no person is above the law. All public officials, including police officers, must follow the same rules that apply to the rest of us. Just as no one is allowed to take the law into their own hands and commit extortion like this, these four individuals, including the two former deputies of Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, were not permitted to take these illegal acts. I want to thank our law enforcement partners for their work in this case. In particular, the Federal Bureau of Investigation for leading this investigation and conducting a very thorough job. I also want to thank the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Robert Luna for his cooperation and collaboration in this case. I want to thank the Irvine Police Department for their support in this case. And finally, I want to thank the lead prosecutor in this case, Assistant United States Attorney Cassie Palmer.